This year marks the 45th anniversary of the horror classic Halloween, a movie that kicked off a whole new wave of slasher movies. The franchise has gone through some highs and lows, especially recently. Today though, we'll be looking back at the classic that started it all. There are some fiendish things in the genre that we call horror. Ghosts and demons, monsters and zombies, but nothing can prepare you for the most chilling terror of all. A deranged killer who will stop at nothing. A boogeyman who can be anywhere and cannot be stopped. This is the story of Halloween. Before we go into this movie, let's talk about the history. After viewing Assault on Precinct 13, film producers Irwin Yablans and Mustafa Akkad approached John Carpenter with the concept of a psychotic killer stalking babysitters. He accepted, and he and his then-girlfriend Deborah Hill drafted a story called Halloween. It was rumored at one point that it was supposed to be called The Babysitter Murders, but producer Yablans has denied this claim. The first draft was written in 10 days, but Carpenter and Hill spent 3 weeks afterwards polishing and crafting the script. Carpenter handled the character of Dr. Loomis, while Hill worked on the dialogue between Laurie Strode and her friends, having worked as a babysitter in her teenage years. Carpenter worked with the cast to create the perfect effect of fear and tension. Jamie Lee Curtis recalled him having a fear meter to help determine the intensity of each scene, because they were shot out of order. Nick Castle, who plays Michael Myers for the bulk of the movie, was told that he only had to walk from one marker to another and was told not to act. The only time he really got any direction from Carpenter was when he killed the character of Bob. He was to tilt his head and examine the corpse as if it were a butterfly collection. Now about the movie itself. It's been 43 years since it was first released in theaters, so it's bound to have some form of campiness, right? It does, but not quite to the level you might be expecting. It's not as gruesome as the movies it inspired, such as Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, or even the sequels themselves. Heck, the killings don't start until about an hour into the film. But the way it builds up the tense atmosphere, with Michael stalking Laurie, appearing and disappearing at random, it makes the final 30 minutes all the more satisfying. All the build-up pays off with a nail-biting third act that will have you locking your doors and peering out your windows for The Shape. Michael Myers was truly designed to be a force of pure evil, with the cliffhanger ending indicating that he was an omnipresent force. The music is minimal yet effective. Sudden synths and sharp high notes that pop up at random. Yeah, that will get the hairs on the back of your neck standing up. It may be due to its low budget, but it works in the movie's favor, giving it a sense of dread of when he'll pop up next. As the credits roll, the iconic opening theme gives off a sense of nervous anticipation. You feel as if someone is hunting you down, and the constant ticking is an indicator, letting you know that you're running out of time before he finds you. Like most slasher movies, there's only really one character you should be rooting for, that being Laurie Strode. The others, such as her friends, and the kids that bullied Tommy, are all forgettable cannon fodder. They're only there so that Michael can potentially kill them off later. By making Laurie, and by extension Tommy Doyle, the ones you should care about, you develop that sense of panic when Michael comes along, looking to kill them. But this cat-and-mouse game isn't just between a lunatic and a babysitter, oh no. The character of Dr. Samuel Loomis, who studied Michael during his time at the psychiatric hospital, is on the hunt as well, looking to put him down, or at least incapacitate him so that he can be locked up forever. This is one of the most important characters of the movie, so much so that he appeared in more of the franchise's sequels than Laurie Strode herself. His monologues give us an insight into the psychology of the masked killer, and builds up tension about whether he will get to Michael in time. The movie is an amazing feature of building up to the horror, and then unleashing it when the moment is at its peak. We get to see Michael unleash all his pent-up rage in one swift yet well-paced sequence of carnage. We understand that he is a major threat, watching him kill 3 people in the space of 20 minutes, and a relentless pursuer of Laurie. This is a slow burn movie, but one that makes the payoff well worth it. The only real issues I have is that some moments come across as stilted, Laurie's friends are annoying, and there's too many fake-out deaths of Michael before the real thing happens. But other than that, it's a really excellent movie. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. What else can I say? It's a classic through and through. The atmosphere that it creates, the music, the standout performances from Jamie Lee Curtis and Donald Pleasance, it's no wonder so many people have made watching this film an annual tradition.